Okay, this is September the 17th, 2010. I'm just doing a quick little update on the Fastback project here. I don't know that I'm going to be able to save this seat for my Fastback. Of course, it needs to be reupholstered, and I fully expected to have to recover the whole thing with new padding and all, but the tracks on this driver's side, woo! And we had to get so rough with it trying to get it out. We had to bend it up some and heat it up with a torch, so we melted that plastic in there. I don't know if it can be salvaged or not. May have to still continue my hunt for another seat. The passenger seat, I think is salvageable. We'll go in the shop here. I think it's okay. It seems to be in a little bit better shape. There's some rust on it. Once again, we had to melt the plastic lining on the track, so I'll have to get another, if I can scrape one of those up. But I think this seat can be saved and recovered. Of course, the upholstery is just in as bad a shape as the other one, but that other one, I don't know. We had to beat this one up a little bit, but they were stuck in there very bad. Very, very, very bad. Next situation, I'll tell you the story about this. When I was a senior in high school, I was being real stupid one time, and it was a cold December night. I had some friends in there with me, and I was backing the car up in an empty parking lot, and I decided to goose it one time. And right at about the time I goosed it, I hit a power line pole in the middle of the parking lot, and so we crunched it right here. Well, I was working part-time at a body shop, and I won't name the name of the body shop because it still exists today, just for anybody who's watching this locally. And they agreed they would straighten this all out for me if I would sand a bunch of cars for them over the Christmas holiday. Well, I happened to have a parts Fastback at the time, so we got the deck let off of it and the quarter panel, and they, instead of replacing this whole apron, which was good on the parts car, they decided to cut this section out right here and tack weld it in right there and put a whole bunch of body filler on top of it. And I didn't remember it being this much body filler. I got a Bentley here, for those of y'all who are familiar with the Bentley repair manual for this car, just so you can see how thick the Bondo was on it. I mean, it's wow. So my body man seems to think that he can just simply grind this off, and we've got most of the body filler, Bondo, whatever you want to call it, off, and he thinks he can put a better weld on that, smooth it down, and not have to put as much body filler on it. Now the apron on that square back he doesn't want to use because, as you can see, it's got a fair amount of rust in it. Like everything else you find nowadays, it's 40-something years old. You have to deal with a bunch of rust. So he thinks that my body guy, and he's the professional on this, I'm not. I'm a mechanic, not a body guy. He seems to think that he can weld that back up and make it look nice with a lot less body filler than what was on it. So if he can do that, I guess we'll just go that route. Haven't really done much to the engine. You can see the halves of the crankcase laid on the workbench over there. We've really done on it since the last videos. We've cleaned up parts. I'm fixing to take the crank and have it checked out and mic'd. There's a guy that builds engines. He's going to come to my class and do a demonstration on how to properly use a mic and mic a crank, and he can do it so much better than I can. So we're going to polish this crank, and he's going to mic it for us and do it in front of the class so the class can learn how to do that, although it's getting to where a lot of guys don't even build engines anymore. They just stick short or long blocks in cars now. But anyway, I thought it'd be a good demonstration for the class, and we'll see if this crank is even salvageable or not, or if I'm just going to have to go with a whole new crank. If this crank cannot be turned, I'll probably just go maybe with a counterweighted crank or something like that. Anyway, we've gotten more of the rust out with sandblasting, although my sandblaster I got, not a very good sandblaster. I don't know what the problem is, but it's very slow, and it's just one I inherited when I took this job over. So anyway, So that's about it on the Fastback update for right now. Here's all the rest of the Bondo that we chiseled out of it. 25-year-old, well, nearly 26-year-old Bondo. Anyway, I've jabbered enough. That's a quick update. Hopefully when we get more progress, I'll update again. Thanks a lot.